Whether you're a student, teacher, business owner, or just someone who works with Excel, this video is for you. Today, I'll walk you through the 10 most useful Excel functions that can save you time, fix your data, and make your work much easier. All right, let's start with one of the most useful and beginner-friendly functions in Excel, the if function. Now, what does it do? Think of the if function like asking Excel a simple yes or no question. Based on the answer, Excel will give you one result if it's true and a different one if it's false. Here's a quick example. We have a list of students along with their marks. We want to check whether each student has passed or failed based on their score. Let's say a student needs at least 50 marks to pass. That's our condition. Okay, let's get into the formula. We start with equal to if. Now we open the bracket. Inside the bracket, the first thing we do is point to the cell that has the student's mark. In this case, that's C2. Next, we ask our question. Is the score in C2 greater than or equal to 50? Then comes a comma. This tells Excel, okay, if the answer is yes, what should I show? And we type pass in double quotes because it's a text result. Now another comma and we tell Excel, all right, if the score is less than 50, what should I show instead? So we write fail again in double quotes. So the full formula looks like this. Once you hit enter, Excel will check the condition and show either pass or fail based on the student's score. Now just drag the formula down for the rest of the students and you're done. Simple, right? Okay, have you ever seen strange errors in Excel like these? Yeah, they look messy, but don't worry. There's a simple fix. It's called the IFERROR function. We have a few products, their total revenue, and the number of units sold. To calculate revenue per unit, we're dividing the revenue by units sold. But now look at product B and product D. They have 0 units sold, and when Excel tries to divide by 0, it gives us that ugly error. Not great. Let's fix it using IFERROR. Click on the cell and enter this formula, equals IFERROR, open bracket, B2 divided by C2, comma, then in double quotes, type invalid, and close the bracket. It still tries to divide B2 by C2, but if there's any error like dividing by 0, Excel will just show the word invalid instead. No more distracting error messages. Now copy that formula down the column, and boom, it looks clean. You still get the correct numbers where possible, and you get a nice, friendly message where something goes wrong. Much better, right? You can use IFERROR in all kinds of formulas, whether it's division, lookups, or anything else that might break. Stick around till the end of this video because I'm also going to show you how to use IFERROR with the VLOOKUP function to hide those annoying errors when a value isn't found. All right, next up, let's talk about a super handy function in Excel called trim. Have you ever copied data from a website or another software and noticed that some cells have weird extra spaces? Maybe a few spaces before the text, after the text, or even too many between words. Well, that's exactly the problem we're solving today. Here, I've got a simple data set with customer names, addresses, and phone numbers. So how do we clean it up? Click on D2 and type equal to trim. Inside the bracket, select A2. What this does is super simple. It removes any spaces at the start, any spaces at the end, and even extra spaces in between words, leaving just one space where needed. Once you've done that, just drag the formula down for the rest of the rows, and you've got clean, space-free data ready to go. Easy, right? Let's move on to a really useful function in Excel called COUNTIF. This function helps you count only the cells that meet a certain condition. We have a list of students and their exam results. Now we want to know how many students passed. We'll use the COUNTIF function. Here's how it works. Equal to count if we're telling Excel we want to count based on a condition. Open bracket, then we select the range E2 to E11. This is where the results are written, like pass or fail. After the comma, we write pass inside double quotes. This is the condition, close the bracket. So basically Excel will go through each cell from E2 to E11 and count how many of them say pass. No need to count by hand, Excel does it all for you. Next, we are going to check the SUMIF function. This function helps you add up values based on a condition. For example, if you want to calculate the total marks of students who passed, SUMIF does it for you in seconds. Let's break the formula down step by step in a simple way. Equal to sum if we're telling Excel we want to add numbers based on a condition. Open bracket E2 to E11. This is the range Excel will look at for the condition. The result column with pass or fail. Then we write the condition, which is pass. After that, we tell Excel where the numbers are that we want to add, and that's D2 to D11, the score column. So Excel is basically saying, look at all the results in E2 to E11. Wherever it says pass, go to the corresponding score in D2 to D11 and add them all up. All right, next up, let's say we have a list of product names and we want to find out how long each name is. We'll use the len function to count the number of characters in each product name. Now let's write the formula. We type equal to len. We're telling Excel we want to count the length of the text. Then we open a bracket and select B2. That's the cell with the product name. Close the bracket. This will count all the characters in the cell B2, including spaces. Next, we are going to check the text function. This function lets you format numbers, dates, and times exactly how you want them to appear. Super useful if you're working on reports or dashboards. Let's say we have a list of sales dates and total amounts, and we want to format the date nicely or show the amount with a currency symbol. Let's try this first with the date. We'll use the text function to change the format of the date in a clean, readable way. Now let's write the formula. Equal to text, we're telling Excel we want to format something as text. Open bracket, first we give it the value. In this case, B2, which is the sale date. Then inside double quotes, we type the format we want. We enter 4 Ds to display the full name of the day, 2 Ds for the day number, 2 Ms for the month number, and 4 Ys for the year. Close the bracket. Looks nice, right? Now let's use the text function to format the sales amount with the rupee symbol. Type equal to text, select C2, comma, then type this format. Clean and professional. Okay, now let's take a look at the Concat function. It's used to combine or join text from different cells. Let's say we have a list of first names and last names of employees. We want to combine them to make a full name in one cell. Instead of doing it manually, we can use the Concat function. Let's start writing the formula. Click on the cell where you want the full name to appear and type equal to concat. This tells Excel we want to combine some text. Open bracket and give the first part B2, which is the first name. Then we add a space inside double quotes, and finally C2, which is the last name. Close the bracket. This will give us John Smith, neat and simple. You might have used concatenate in older versions of Excel. Well, Concat is the newer and shorter version, does the same job, just cleaner. All right, let's look at something super useful, the unique function in Excel. This function helps you quickly find distinct or non-repeating values in a list. Super handy when working with large data. Let's say we have a list of customers who made purchases, but some names appear more than once. Now we want to find how many unique customers we had without manually removing duplicates. That's where the unique function comes in. Click on a new cell where you want the unique names to appear. Type equal to unique, open bracket, and select the range of cells. Here it's B2 to B8, where our customer names are. Close the bracket. Excel gives us a clean list of customers without any duplicates. Want to count how many unique customers you had? Just wrap the unique function inside counter like this. This will count how many distinct names are in the list. Last, we are going to check the most popular and powerful functions in Excel, VLOOKUP. This function helps you find information from a table instantly without searching manually. Let's see how it works. Let's say we have a list of employees and their department IDs in one table, and in another table we have the department names for each ID. We want to match the correct department name for each employee using the department ID. Instead of doing this manually, we'll use VLOOKUP. All right, let's say we want to find the department name for Thomas using the ID D01. Click on the cell next to his ID and type equal to VLOOKUP. We're telling Excel to look something up. Open bracket, and the first thing is what we're looking for. That's B2, the department ID. Next, we give it the table where we want to search. Here it's the second table, so we type F2 to G5. We add the dollar signs to lock the range. Then we tell Excel which column we want the result from, and in this case, we want the second column, which has department names. Finally, we type false to get an exact match. Then close the bracket and hit enter. Boom, we get sales. Now just drag the formula down for the other employees, and Excel will fill in all their departments automatically. If there's a chance the ID might not be found, you can use this formula to avoid seeing an error. This way, if the department ID is missing, Excel will just show not found instead of an ugly error. If this video was helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more Excel tutorials like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.